Hello everyone. So today we are on site. We came to do a site visit, and we thought this is a great opportunity to talk about ducts as a rising factor in modern day buildings. As usual, if you can look around on neighboring buildings, we normally see plumbing ducts and vents rising up on the sides of walls, and they look ugly. They kill the beauty of the structure. So in modern day architecture, architects have resorted to designing ducts that are closed off to hide those pipes. We have basically two forms of ducts. There are aesthetic ducts and functional ducts. Functional ducts are the best if you could combine function and aesthetics to have a nice building. That's the best way of attaining this form of architecture. So under functionality, we have mechanical ducts and electrical ducts, which keep the building looking nice. So I'm going to allow my colleague Okot Jero, the architect, to take us through this.
Hello everybody, my name is Okot Jero. I'm a graduate architect. Yes, as my colleague and my brother, Mr. James Ambayo, said, today we are discussing issues concerning ducts in a building. He basically mentioned two types of ducts, and that includes the the functional duct, and then the aesthetics duct. Now, with I'm majorly going to focus on the functional ducts because it is the one that is of big concern in any structure. Because when you're designing a structure, you should be looking at how the building is going to look. So, in the functional ducts, we have two types of ducts that we need to introduce in every structure that you have. And that is the the electrical, and then the plumbing ducts. In big buildings like hotels, you could have mechanical ducts where there are lifts in it, so that they can actually serve as lift ducts for taking food to special rooms or special floors that you need it in. And now for a structure like this one, which is a residential, we normally work with the two main constant ducts, and that is the electrical and then the plumbing ducts. Now the electrical is the one that actually carries the power lines. So you can distribute cables around the building without exposing them outside. And then the plumbing ducts, the ducts that carry the down pipes, or such as water from the toilets, you get it out of the building so that it can actually go to the septic tank, or water from the roofs of the building. For instance, you can look around. There's a building on the side there. We have some down white pipes that are coming down. When you look at it very well, it looks nice. It looks nice, but in the long run, the client is more likely to replace the pipe before this structure replaces these pipes. Why? Because these pipes are exposed, and they're plastics, so they're subjected to corrosion and decay of plastics due to different variations in weather and the sun. You know what sun does to plastics. But in a duct like this, which is kept intact in a space, you find they are not affected by weathering of the area. And also it provides a different kind of beauty to the structure, because for instance, if you look at such a structure, it is well done, but it's not properly organized. Why? Because you can see the pipes look like they just put it there without any plan for it. And unlike here, where you cannot see any single pipe completely being exposed, but the building has everything for someone to live in it. And that means that any type of water, you will not have any leakages. You'll have everything in order. So that pertains the plumbing ducts. And then when you look at the electrical ducts, it's easy to service. This is the part where I now introduce you to the importance of ducts, leave alone the decay and the replacement of the pipes. When there's a challenge let's say there's a blockage in any of the plumbing pipes, it's easy to service the pipe without interfering with the function of the building. Some structures put their pipes in the column, but the duct is the best method of construction when it comes to wiring and connecting your building it's the best form of plumbing and also of wiring of the building. Why? Because its serviceability is easy. But now there are those that put theirs in within the column. Now when you put within the column, it means that if there is any variation or any kind of movements of the structure, the pipe might crack. And if the pipe cracks, it means that whatever water is flowing through the pipe, it flows into the concrete, and which means your structure stands at a very high risk of collapsing.
Yeah, so as Jerome has been explaining to you, let's take a tour and see some of these ducts. Yeah, so as you can see, this is an example of the mechanical duct, the plumbing duct. So the purpose of this duct and this particular building is to carry water off that terrace and direct it into the drainage channels heading out of the plot. And this is not how it will look like in terms of when the structure is done. It will have a door with such a form of venting and really can be opened and accessed for, in case there are any mechanical repairs required. Then let me take you to a more sophisticated one. So just before that, if you look at this is how we bring them. This is how we build them ducts. They are ideally part of the main wall and structure. This one is on the servants' quarters. It will carry rainwater from up the structure, bringing it down into still the drainage channel. So you can come and see. Forgive, this is a site in progress. Don't mind the eucalyptus. So, here is a typical example of a duct that is in use. As you can see, there are pipes that have been laid and hidden in the duct. They are connected to different toilets on the structure. Up here we have a bedroom with its own toilet, and there's a connection. There's that point where the toilet can be worked on that pipe. So this duct will also be covered. And then the Omeme guys already a line to the duct, but that will be changed because you have to ideally also separate water from electricity. That can create a serious disaster. So the electrical ducts have to be special, and water has to be kept out of them. Then the plumbing ones are also special. They don't need much attention. Their purpose is just to hide those pipes from corrosion, physical damage. As you know, even when kids are playing, they can easily damage those ducts. So that's a form of way of keeping them out of damage. Yeah. Then let's take a tour behind here. There's another one. And this particular one, I have a lot of interest in it because the plumbing guy held his lines properly while he was doing the plumbing. You can see the pipes are in a straight line. This is also ideally a mechanical duct, and it's to look beautiful because you can see these guys even put stone on this particular wall, and where the stone ends is where the mechanical vent door will be. And yeah, I think that will look nice. And let me see, unless Jerome has something to say.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So far everything has been covered.
Yeah. You can see a line of toilets here. This small window are toilets. And this duct has been strategically placed to cater and bring down those pipes. So that everything is hidden and you have a nice clean facade. If you look at, there's a building here across. You can see how the pipe, it's a beautiful building, but you can see how ugly the pipes look like on the structure. They kill the beauty of the structure and they can easily be damaged too. Yeah. So something is inching a man here. Yeah, Tell us.
So,
Yes. You go.
So Kindly first stand back again. Something small that we kind of forgot about in the duct system. So for instance, in a confined space like this, normally you find traditionally we as Africans we assume windows are supposed to, toilet windows are supposed to be very small, and because of privacy fears and all that. But now when you look at such a space which is confined like this, which is limited, and now we have a duct introduced, normally it affects the design of the opening that is available next to it. That's why you find we have this kind of long window strip, so that to let in more light to compensate for the space that the duct has actually eaten, which is something my colleague did not mention. But if you kindly turn to the building opposite there, you will see that the building is suffering a very big fate of very boring facade, just done to finish, which you can see. The downpipe is on the side. You can tell me where the toilet exactly is. So when I want to rob him, I will pass that side because he has left the window open and I can tell the design from this side. But here you can't really tell when I add a grill to it. So when I add a duct, you will not know where to actually pass. You will just assume, oh, it's part of the design. So it kind of intricates the normal design that we always see in buildings, whereby if you're passing around, you can just say, okay, like for instance, that structure there, I can tell the layout of the building by just looking at where the toilet is actually located. Because I can tell you from here that the toilet is shared by 2 bedrooms by just seeing it from this side. So that changes a lot of dynamics when it comes to also efficacy. For those who like those who like to own their building, that it is not the common building that you find in building A, it's in building B, building C, building D. So that is also something that it can change a lot of perspective, because in design and architecture is one small thing can change so many things that you just don't know how it actually falls in place. That's something that I thought my colleague skipped out a bit on. So you can see the building as we were talking about it, that the plan, you can tell it from just the way the pipes are arranged. You can tell that there's a toilet here, there's a down pipe here. You can tell a lot by just the placement of the pipes. So ducts are actually necessary so that it can actually conceal the layout of the building. Like I was saying the other time, that you can tell the plan. For instance, that window that is open, it is showing a lot that there is a bedroom in that area. So that is something we should look into. As you can see in the neighboring building, the small windows are showing a lot. Small windows implies either a store or a toilet, which should not be the standards of architecture.
I think that's it for now. If you have any questions or something you want to know about, or something technical you want us to review, we can take you through. This particular site is the site that we are currently handling, and I think we shall keep bringing you here to give you more technical reports about building.
So with that, adios.